What's going on, everybody? So I got another critical thought of one of my favorite TV shows for ya. And instead of doing my usual rant that I just kind of come up with on the spot, and thus making me have to record over and over and over again for at least an hour, I decided I'm gonna start writing my thoughts down. This is a really thick book specifically for this because I'm planning on doing this a lot more. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? In Grey's Anatomy, season 4, episode 17, Freedom Part 2, Richard Webber, after being kicked out of his house by his wife because, you know, she asked him to, for once, put her first instead of his job, and he didn't fucking do that. After she kicks him out, he literally spends an entire season's worth of episodes trying to figure his shit out before he decides to come home to her, knock on the door, and give a big grand gesture speech. Now, the first time I watched this episode, I thought that was very, very good, very nice. Like, you know what? He understands. He knows he fucked up. Man, he's gonna make up for that. Cool. However, rewatching this episode, not once in that speech did he ever say I'm sorry. He never said I'm sorry. He never said I apologize. What he says though, I shortened it but pretty much what he says is, I am a good man who made a mistake with a woman 20 years ago. I am a good man for everybody but you. Don't you think I know that? Now, I am not asking you, I'm telling you, I want to come home to my wife. First off, cool beans with acknowledging the affair that you had on your wife. Nice job there. However, that woman you had an affair with 20 years ago, her name is Alice Gray. I am not condoning what she did because she's just as bad as him, actually kind of worse. But she is also a world-renowned, twice winning, and I think it was consecutive, I can't remember, but she won 2 Harper Averys. You outlived her and you don't even have one. You may have married an Avery, but you never won that fucking award, so put some respect on her name, okay? So there's that portion of that, but also I did a little research because I can't remember every little fucking detail of the show. Did y'all know that Adele worked at that same hospital that her husband and Alice Gray had an affair in? Like, think about that. They all worked in that same building. She was a nurse. The series heavily implied that nobody knew about the affair. Adele did. You wanna know how I know? Because when Adele had Alzheimer's, she mistook Meredith for her mother. And you wanna know what came out of her mouth? Give me back my husband. Meaning this woman knew. She most likely knew the entire time. We're not stupid, fellas. We're not fucking dumb. Okay, so I'm about to use one of my best friend's sayings that she has for me. Or sayings that she says to me. Richard, you ain't shit. You ain't shit, you ain't shit, sir, you ain't shit at all. And you wanna know why I say this? Even with your dramatic apology, and that's what I'm gonna call these from now on. I don't even know which one this is because you've had to dramatically apologize a lot. When Alice Gray was alive in the nursing home because of her Alzheimer's, did you ever tell your wife that you went to visit her? I'll wait. That's what I thought. You didn't say shit to her. You ain't shit, sir. So, not only were you sleeping with another woman at your job, at the same job you most likely met and started a relationship with and then later married your wife, but you got that bitch pregnant. Oh, side note, I am so glad Alice did not tell Richard about Maggie, because considering that this man had a full-on affair physically and emotionally and had every intention of leaving his wife, but he went back on that because of jealousy, sir, you were not then and certainly not later, because your behavior kind of doesn't change. You were not ready to be a father in any way, shape, or form. So, Ellis, you made a lot of other shitty decisions, but that was a good one. Next thing, in that speech, he used I'm, or my 17 times. 17 times. And then he says you or your 7 times. I mean, I get that's because the literal speech that he did was very, very simplistic. However, that is super disproportional. Now, Richard freely admits that he has made time and put his effort forth with so many other people while leaving his wife, the woman he pledged loyalty and like his soul to, while keeping her on the back burner for more than 20 years. Like, sir, what? Because, like, okay, hear me out. Huh, damn it, I'm ranting anyway. A recap of my critical thoughts. Richard Webber said some form of me 17 times in his apology speech. 17. And he only said you or some form talking to his wife 7. 17, 7. I digress. He downplayed an affair that hurt his wife tremendously. He had said affair in his wife's workplace. It was also his, but mostly his wife. Yeah, and she knew about it the whole time. He did end said affair. Yes, he did. But not because of some moral discernment that just popped into his heart, but because he was jealous that Ellis Gray won, or correct, not won at this point, got nominated for a Harper Avery Award. And karma really is a bitch because he never won one. Anyway, he continued to stay connected to Ellis Gray throughout her entire life. Like, sir, no. And most importantly, Richard Webber was inconsiderate of Adele Webber's emotions, her heart, on every fucking level for decades. Yeah, decades. Think about that. She married him when she was 25. Anyway, let's just wrap this all up, shall we? I am going to give Richard's dramatic apology a 3 out of 5. He gets the 3 because he does articulate and seem to actually understand where he went wrong yet again. But he also gets the 3 because he's coming at it from an everything I do is justified because I have my reasons mindset. And when you fuck up continuously, horrifically bad, you do not have the standing for that mindset, sir. No. So Richard Webber, you ain't shit. Adele Webber, rest in peace, babes. And Ellis Gray, yeah, honestly, I kind of think the Alzheimer's kind of were the karma for the shit you did. So